So good afternoon everybody and you're very welcome to Gurtmore here in Foilmore. We're here for the second quarter final of the South Kerry Senior Football Championship, Renard and St Michael's Foilmore. I have Kevin McCarthy, chairman of the club, here with me, and Mossy Coffey, PRO of the South Kerry board. Mossy, first of all, before we look forward, let's look back. As predicted, St Mary's came through, but they didn't have it their own way.
Drummond asked them a lot of questions and were right in it with about 10 minutes to go, and I suppose St Mary's were the wind advantage helped and a bit of experience, and then again Drummond were missing three key players yesterday in Graham O'Sullivan, Niall O'Shea and Padraig Mangan. Like, there were three massive losses, but Drummond really put it up to St Mary's yesterday. Asked them a lot of questions, and a lot of people in the crowd felt with quarter an hour to go that there was a surprise on the way, but the Mary's battled back and just about to go out to win at the end of the day. Finished a lot stronger, you know, at the end of the day. A bit of fitness maybe and a bit of experience.
And again, Brian Sheehan's free taking critical.
Absolutely. Like, and this game here again today, like, free taking is going to be crucial. Like, Brian Sheehan kicked 6 points yesterday. I think Ian Smith O'Sullivan is going to have a big say here today. Sean Sheehan then Sean Tehan for Renard. You know, not a big player. That's, you know, Renard will be looking to, like, free taking is going to be crucial. Absolutely.
Yeah. Kevin, from your own point of view, you'd be hoping, I suppose, home advantage would have a big say.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. But it's a very hard one to call. Like, they're very evenly matched. I think it'll be a good ding dong battle, like that, to be honest with it.
Yeah,
hopefully we'll come on the right side of it.
You've a few players back. Matthew O'Sullivan is a big player to have back for them.
Yeah. Played a lot of football in Australia as well. Played in the Aussie rules, so he came back fit. So that's a plus.
What's the ground like, Kevin? Is it? I suppose every field is soft at the moment. What's?
It's getting bad now, in fairness, but it's gone through, right? Held up fairly well.
Yeah.
But I think for that field, it holds up well. But if it was raining, you would have a sheet of water, and it's slow to take the water. That's the only problem with that field, but hopefully it should be okay.
Right, okay. So, Mossy, you're the neutral. We'll ask you to put your head in the block.
Look,
what do you think?
I think home advantage, and with Ian O'Sullivan, I'd slightly tip St Michael's Foilmore.
Right.
Fairness.
Okay, thank you guys. We'll confirm both teams for you in just a few moments' time. We've about 10 minutes to go to throw in.
The teams line out as follows. Starting with St. Michael's Foilmore, number 1, Jason O'Shea, number 2, Niall O'Sullivan, number 3, Brian Smith, number 27, Kevin Griffin, number 19, Mark King, number 6, Donna Shugro, number 7, Mikey Standen, number 8, Steve O'Connor, captain, number 25, Shane Goggin, number 10, Andy O'Connell, number 11, Alan Goggin, number 17, Matt O'Sullivan, number 13, Luke O'Shea, number 14, Ian O'Sullivan, and number 15, Jack Griffin. Renard line out as follows. Number 1, Austin Murphy, number 2, Cathal O'Shea, number 3, Brendan Kelly, number 4, Ronan Quinlan, number 5, Thomas Kelly, number 6, Brees O'Sullivan, number 7, Ian Moriarty. Central field, number 8, Jim Shugro, number 9, Conor O'Shea, number 10, Aidan O'Neill, number 11, Liam O'Sullivan, number 12, Brian Quinlan, number 13, Sean Tehan, number 14, Mark Shugro, and number 15, Fintan O'Sullivan.
Perfect.
Big our round of being again, a kind of Riola McCarthy.
Now, so you're very welcome back, and we're here for the start of this our second quarter-final here in the South Kerry Senior Championship. Renard and St. Michael's Foilmore. A few late changes in the St. Michael's Foilmore team, as you heard. Number 27, Kevin Griffin, comes into the side. So does Matthew O'Sullivan. So does Mark King. And we have, they're the three. Number 25 as well is in. That is Shane Goggin. So plenty of positional changes. Matthew O'Sullivan, in fact, he's not wearing 16, he's wearing 17. So that's just another positional number to keep an eye on. Mark Shockrew is throwing, will be in the middle of the field for the start for this for Renard. Our referee is Eddie Walsh from Rathmore. Very experienced man at the helm. And we are underway here in Garthmore. Who's going to join St. Mary's now in the semi-final? This is a chance and an early chance for Brian Smith. Brian Smith driving the ball inside there now, getting the return again. Brian Smith looking up and seeing what his options are. A little bit loose by Renard in the opening couple of minutes. Ian O'Sullivan coming through there, but well cut out there by Brees O'Sullivan of Renard, and they're trying to walk the conditions here. Dry day, thankfully. Nothing like the rain we had yesterday in Drummond. It's gone out over the line. Unable to keep it in play there is Liam O'Sullivan. There is a slight bit of a breeze, I'd say slight, and it's favouring St. Michael's Foilmore here in the first half. I think it's blowing from right to left, but not a major significant story. Alan Goggin driving inside, looking for Matthew. Was there a push in the back there? The referee didn't see it. It was very well won by the captain, Brendan Kelly. Brendan plays it outside now to Conor O'Shea. Conor O'Shea now, the midfielder for Renard, looking up, seeing what his options are. 3 men inside around the house at the moment. They'll recycle it, and it's coming over here to Ian Moriarty. Ian Moriarty has Edon O'Neill with him. He decides to go low and inside for Tehan. Tehan is well beaten to the inside there by Griffin, though. That's good defending there by Kevin Griffin. Getting in the hand, the younger brother of Mark Griffin, of course, who played here for so long. This is Matthew O'Sullivan. Matthew with a low ball and a lovely, lovely looking ball inside for Luke O'Shea. Back out it goes to Matthew O'Sullivan again. The first shot, an anger at the post for Matthew O'Sullivan. And that's a point for St. Michael's Foilmore. 1 point to 0. Matthew O'Sullivan getting the first score of the game. Now, unfortunately, we have no scoreboard working here this afternoon, but we'll keep you updated. It's 1 point to 0. Matthew O'Sullivan getting the first one. Ball gathered by Conor Shea. Lovely ball by Brian Quinlan inside again for Tehan inside. Sean Tehan turns at a sixpence, but Sean Tehan has put it wide. That's the first wide of the match. And of course, Sean's other brother is making rave reviews as far as soccer is concerned. Ronan Tehan, who's playing, of course, with the Kerry FC. But Sean is here, top of the right. He's a very, very talented forward. If he gets good ball into him, he will cause Kevin Griffin problems, but Kevin Griffin equally is a very talented defender. The break in the middle of the field, it's gone the way of Liam O'Sullivan. Liam O'Sullivan doing well now in the middle. We saw how St. Mary's came very well into the game around the middle of the field yesterday, and particularly in the last quarter of the game. One of these sides will be hoping to do the same again today. Brian Quinlan inside here now again for Fintan O'Sullivan. Fintan O'Sullivan trying to get away from two. Eddie Walsh says play on. Mark Shockrew. Big tall Mark Shockrew. Will they use him around the edge of the square? Or this is Jim Shockrew. Jim Shockrew going for the post. Jim Shockrew into the hands of Jason O'Shea. And out comes Brian Smith again. Brian Smith, loose man. is Andy O'Connell. And away goes Andy now. 60 yards out from goal. With him there is Alan Goggin. Still Alan Goggin. Andy continues his run and nobody has picked him up. This is slack by Renard, but a poor pass by Alan Goggin. It was a 2-1 opportunity there by St. Michael's Foilmore, but they didn't avail of it, and Renard was trying to work it out and calling for it as Liam O'Sullivan completely on his own here in the 45-metre line, if they can give it out to him. This is Thomas Kelly. Now O'Sullivan very near it. That looked to be a push in the back, and it was, and it's a free out. A free out to Thomas Kelly. Back it goes here now again. The stopwatch tells us 3.5, nearly 4 minutes gone here in Gartmore. 1-0. Matthew O'Sullivan's 1 point is the only difference between the sides here so far. Liam O'Sullivan now. Liam drives it inside again, but that's well cut out. Both defences well on top at the moment. Shane Goggin over there. Number 25, Niall O'Sullivan there as well. Niall gives it to Donna Shuckrew. And both defences well on top here at the moment. It's an early settling down period. Here's Stephen O'Connor, the captain. Very experienced man, Stephen O'Connor, as well as Andy O'Connell again, finding room, but losing it around the middle. But there was a foul there by Brees O'Sullivan on Ian O'Sullivan, and the ball is being brought forward for not handing it back. And this now will be the opening score of the game, you would imagine, to St. Michael's Foilmore and to Ian O'Sullivan. Well, Eddie Walsh saying that you didn't give the ball back, and it's, I suppose, one of the controversial rules of all rule changes in this year in the GA calendar, but I think this handing the ball back to a player, I don't know. Here comes Ian O'Sullivan now. Dead straight in front of the post. He's about, 35, 40 yards out. He has it high. The umpires consider it. And in fact, it is a 2-pointer. It's a 2-pointer. So 2 points for Ian O'Sullivan. So that is 5.5 minutes gone. So 3 points to 1. 3 points to 0. The scoreline here now at the moment. 5 minutes and 30 seconds gone. Player down injured. Number 19 is Mark King. Player down injured. So I didn't think that Ian O'Sullivan's was that within the compass of the, or was outside the radius of the 2-pointer, but it certainly was. And Ian O'Sullivan pops it over. It just shows that this, the wind is rising a little bit now, and as we said, it is supporting St. Michael's Foilmore in this first half. Mark Shuckrew to Jim Shuckrew. Jim looking for it again, back to Mark. In fact, he plays it inside to Conor O'Shea. Here's Conor, still going through. Is this the first goal? No, that's a brilliant block down inside there. That's by Donna Shuckrew. Breaking now is Mikey Scanlon. That's a loose one though from St. Michael's Foilmore. The boot going in from Ian Moriarty, illegally so, says the referee. A tackle put in there, needless tackle by Jim Shuckrew. Stopped him in his tracking. That's discipline. That's Renard need to tidy up a little bit on that now. That is a very advantageous position now for Ian O'Sullivan. It's carbon copy of the last free there a few minutes ago. So Jim Shuckrew putting in a very late tackle. No real need of it. 3 points to 0. Is this a 2-point radius? I think it is. So Ian O'Sullivan to take this one. 3 points to 0. Ian O'Sullivan to take it. We'll have a look at the umpire. Are they going for a flag of some colour? They're going for another orange one. That's another 2-pointer from Ian O'Sullivan. So that's 5 points now to no score in favour of St. Michael's Foilmore. 2 2-pointers from Ian O'Sullivan. So that's a tonic start now to St. Michael's Foilmore. 5 points to 0. Out it goes to the middle, and up they go for it. And the break has gone the way of St. Michael's Foilmore again. Boot going on there, I think, on Mark Shuckrew. Looked to be on Alan Goggin, but the referee didn't quite see it like that. Now he's giving travelling, and now he's a chance for Renard. Brian Quinlan, they need to up it. But it's a poor one inside to their full forward line, and cut out by Mikey Scanlon very nicely there. Andy O'Connell is back there with him. Stephen O'Connor will use Andy now. Andy gives it inside here again to Scanlon. Scanlon gives it to Goggin. This is Alan. Alan gives it back to Stephen O'Connor, the captain, and he gives it into Andy O'Connell. Andy gives it to Goggin. They're really playing ducks and drakes with this Renard team at the moment, St. Michael's Foilmore. They certainly have got off to the much better start here. Stephen O'Connor, a loose one though. Renard need to try and get their hand on the ball at at some stage if they can, but it's big Matthew O'Sullivan, of course, as Kevin McCarthy said there. His return from Australia is a huge boost for St. Michael's Foilmore. Of course, former Kerry star himself in his own right, Matthew. This is Shane Goggin over there, I think it is. Shane approaching the 45-metre line. Now he gives it to Ian O'Sullivan. Ian giving it inside to Donna Shukru, I think, is over there. He is indeed. This is back to Ian O'Sullivan again. And still Ian looking up. But a poor one by Ian. And it is Renard who come out with it. And Edon O'Neill. It's gone inside. There's a man shouting inside looking for a ball but not getting it. Jim Shukru. Inside to Mark Shukru now. Still Mark going through and a high one for Mark. He does well to hold on to possession. Mark will need help from Sean Tehan. Here's Sean Tehan now taking on Kevin Griffin. Back again to Tehan. Outside the D here now. They'll try and work it in, looking for a free if they can. Eddie Walsh standing very, very in close proximity, giving nothing to them so far. Fenton O'Sullivan now. Still Fenton outside the D. St. Michael's Foilmore have all their men back, and there's no breach so far. I was trying to think of the word breach yesterday. I couldn't think of what's the new slang word for this. This new one. A high one. And it's gone over the bar, I think. Is it gone over? Yes, it is. It's a white flag for Renard. It's their first score of the game, and it's a badly needed one. And I think we'll give credit there to Edon O'Neill. I think he's the man that got it. Number 10. Edon O'Neill was the man that got the final punch to it. So 5 points to 1 now. 10 minutes gone here in Garthmore. The kick out now from Jason O'Shea. High ball, up for it goes Donna Shukru. Pushing the back there on Edon O'Neill. Edon doing well to get on position now, to get on ball. Here comes Liam O'Sullivan. Still Liam. Back to Edon, or back to Thomas Kelly. Advantage given by Eddie Walsh. His hand is aloft over there. Let's see, can they take advantage of the advantage? It's Conor O'Shea now. Renard have settled a little bit now, but they need to get a little bit on the scoreboard. Those 2 pointers from Ian O'Smith has given a good 4-point lead to St. Michael's Foilmore. 5 points to 1. Liam O'Sullivan now here. Still Liam. There's it back here again. Brian Quinlan now. Trying to maybe go up the middle, but thou shalt not pass. Jim Shukru unable to. Mark Shukru gives a lovely ball inside to Edon O'Neill now. The only scorer so far for Renard. This ball very near the sideline here. The referee says it's a free out. And the ball is being brought forward again for a little bit of indiscipline. And I think Mark Shukru shouting out his teammates. That's twice now, lads. He says this discipline has cost him, and I fully agree with him. They need to tighten up on that a little bit. This is Matthew Sullivan taking on his man. Still Matthew taking on Brendy Kelly. Matthew Sullivan, lovely little ball inside out to the corner to Jack Griffin. Griffin gives it to Alan Goggin. Goggin gives it outside out to Ian O'Sullivan again. Back again to Stephen O'Connor. Good possession football here so far now by St. Michael's Foilmore. Brian Smith now decides to go attacking. Looking for the return and getting the return. Taking on Conor O'Shea. It's still Brian Smith over there. Brian trying to recycle it now here again is Shane Goggin over there. Having a cut, putting it inside around the house, and the umpires look at it, and that's a wide ball, and that's St. Michael's Foilmore's first wide. Renard also having a wide here, and the watch tells us 12 minutes gone here now. And the scoreboard reads 5 points to 1 in favour of the home team, St. Michael's Foilmore. Of course, the winners of today's match will play St. Mary's in the semi-final in 2 weeks' time. And then, of course, next week we have Skellig Rangers, or Valencia hosting Skellig Rangers, and Waterville hosting Sneem Derrynane, and those winners will play each other again on the following weekend. So it's action-packed football here in South Kerry for the next couple of weeks. Donna Shukru. St. Michael's Foilmore shading it around the middle of the field here now. Definitely Alan Goggin playing it back here. Donna Shukru. Brian Smith. Brian Smith giving it out to Stephen O'Connor. Keeping possession, not making much headway so far. Ian O'Sullivan has come out. Ian with a lovely ball looking for Matthew. They're combining well. Matthew O'Sullivan getting away from his man. Matthew O'Sullivan high. And Matthew O'Sullivan with a 2-pointer. 2-pointer, says the referee. So that's gone to 7 points. 7 points to 1 now. Matthew O'Sullivan getting a 2-pointer. 7 points to 1. He got the better of Brendy Kelly. He was out there ahead of him. 13.5 minutes gone here. 7-1. 6 points is a good lead now for St. Michael's Foilmore. Renard are struggling around the middle of the field to try and get their hands on the ball. Brian Quinlan has it. Giving it side now to Jim Shocker. Referee's hand is aloft, which signifies advantage to Renard. Sean Tehan, yes. Sean Tehan. Griffin is sticking tight to him. Here's Liam Sullivan. Liam Sullivan, 35 yards out from goal. Back to Fenton O'Sullivan. He's coming out around the arc now. Still Fenton O'Sullivan. Being forced out all the time. He'll use Thomas Kelly, I'd say, in this wing. And Thomas now has decided, or Ian Moriarty has decided to balloon it in high, but it has gone now to the left and wide for Renard's second wide of the day. St. Michael's Foilmore also with a wide. So those 2-pointers are the difference between them so far. 7 points to 1. And we have 14.5 minutes gone here. To kick out to come again from Jason O'Shea. Jason, very high out around the middle of the field. The break has gone the way of Renard. They're coming more into it now around the middle. Conor O'Shea now. Advantage again being given to Renard this time. Conor O'Shea. Renard, a team that have suffered like all others, and St. Michael's Foilmore through immigration in the last couple of years. They've lost a lot of the big names. Here's Mark Shockrow high, and that is a point for Mark Shockrow. That's his first score of the afternoon. So 7 points to 2 now. Mark Shockrow getting that one. Almost 16 minutes gone. So Mark Shockrow seems to be going in now around the centre forward berth. He's not playing as your orthodox full forward. He's not playing as a midfielder either, although he may be playing full forward. Yeah, he possibly is. He seems to have drifted in from around the centre forward berth to the full forward line. Jason O'Shea. Out they go. Was there a foul there? Referee didn't see it like that. And it is Ian Sullivan. Working it out now to the centre back, Dennis Shockrow. Dennis Shockrow gives it inside here to Fenton O'Sullivan, to Stephen O'Connor, or to Jack Griffin rather. This now is Ian O'Sullivan with the outside of the boot. That's a corker of a point. That is an unbelievable 2-pointer from Ian O'Sullivan. That puts them to 9. That's the score of the game. The Scots, 3 2-pointers now from Ian O'Sullivan. Well, he's a talented footballer. He's also a talented dart thrower, as I found with my own discretion last night. But I'll tell you, he's one hell of a footballer as well as Ian O'Sullivan. There's a knock here to Brees O'Sullivan. Another good man with a set of darts is Brees O'Sullivan. It seems to be a shoulder injury, I think. And Darcy O'Connell is out there with him. Looks to be shoulder. I think the management want to take him off, but Brees doesn't want to go off. No. Well, there is a disagreement. There seems to be a slight disagreement, all right, between Brees O'Sullivan and the management. And now Ian O'Sullivan is getting his name taken here for something. I was following the referee. I'm not sure what Ian O'Sullivan got, but he's got a yellow card for something there now. I couldn't say what that was for. 3. So 4 2-pointers in the game. 3 of them from Ian O'Sullivan and 1 of them from Matthew O'Sullivan. And the scoreboard tells us 9 points to 2. Sideline ball over on the far side. Brees O'Sullivan has recovered. And it's a line ball to St. Michael's Foilmore. Watch tells us 17 minutes and 45 seconds. Gone here in Gurtmore, the home side. Looking good, doing well. Kind of bossing the game around the middle of the field. Sean O'Connor getting on an awful lot, or Stephen O'Connor getting on an awful lot of ball. Ian O'Sullivan too. Lovely ball inside for Matthew. Has Matthew got the legs to get there? He has indeed. Now Brendan Kelly will have to stand him up. The referee has given a free in to Matthew O'Sullivan. He has decided that there was a push of some discretion by the Renard man, and this now will be Jack Griffin to take this free. Very tight angle now, Jack Griffin. He's curling it high, and he has curled it over the bar. That is a 1-pointer from Jack Griffin. That's his first score of the afternoon, the number 15. So 10 points to 2. 12 minutes now left in this first half. 10 points to 2. 8 points is a good gap. Out it goes to the middle of the field. Gathered nicely there by Idan O'Neill. Renard are just not finding their min so far. Jim Shuckrow now. Back it goes to Mark Shuckrow. Driving him inside too. Fintan O'Sullivan. Niall O'Sullivan holding him up, but fouling him, says Eddie Walsh. And this is going to be a free in to, I would think, Mark Shuckrow, and to, in fact, yes, it is Mark Shuckrow that's going to take it. Yeah, Mark Shuckrow is going to take this one. The referee is having a word there with, I think, some member of the Renard backroom team. So, 19, almost 20 minutes gone. There'll be about 2 or 3 minutes of injury time, I think, added on before we see the halftime whistle on this one. Mark Shuckrow now. Now, Renard need to stay on the tailcoats of St. Michael's Foilmore. He needs this one. It is scoreable. A man of Mark Shuckrow's ability shouldn't have any problems with this, and he doesn't have any problems with that. That is a 1-point score from Mark Shuckrow. And that now makes it 10 points to 3 in favour of St. Michael's Foilmore. Kick out now, coming again from Jason O'Shea. Up they go for it, the break. Putting his hand on the body there was Conor O'Shea. It's gathered here by Brees O'Sullivan. Brees needs to recover from that shoulder injury. It's a kind of a high challenge on Thomas Kelly by Matthew O'Sullivan. Into the middle of the field it goes, and Ian Moriarty now. Lovely ball. Spraying it outside now. They found a bit of space here now for Brian Quinlan. Calling for it there, Liam O'Sullivan. Still Brian. Fintan O'Sullivan trying to find room. Mark Shuckrow screeching for it all on his own in there. Delivering a high ball, but it's not for Mark O'Sullivan. It's for Aidan O'Neill inside there. Trying to take on his man now. Giving it outside to Marcus. Mark Shuckrow again. Still Mark. That's a great piece of defending by St. Michael's Foilmore. Donna Shuckrow, I think, might have been the man. Can't see it from my angle here, but it looked to have been him. Anyway, it's a 45-metre kick for Renard. And Mark Shuckrow is ready to take this 45-metre kick. Of course, his brother John, a long time great servant of the club. This is Mark, his younger brother. Now, Mike Moriarty is our linesman here on this side. It's a quickly taken one inside. Here's a chance. That's a good kick, I would think, from Brian Quinlan, but no, he's missed it. He's pulled it to the left and wide. That's only the third wide now for Renard. St. Michael's Foilmore with only 1 wide in this match so far. Renard have 3 of them. Now the watch tells us 22.5 minutes gone here. 10 points to 3. Here comes Jason O'Shea. Once again, out they go up and gathered again, I think, outside by Ian O'Sullivan, who's come more into the game. He's got there ahead of Brees inside for Matthew. But Matthew and his man collided inside there. Himself and Luke O'Shea look to have been going for the same ball. There's no call between the two of them, and it's a free out anyway to Renard. Renard will still hope that they're well stuck on it, providing they don't concede a goal. I mean, 6-7 points maybe at half time is a little bit of a strong breeze, but there's another stoppage in play again for another Renard player down injured. And the management team of Darcy O'Connell and Eddie Sheehan there and Mike Sheehan and Edward O'Neill, they have a little bit of thinking to do. They're in conclave over on the far side, all right. St. Michael's Foilmore fairly dominant now around the middle of the field, and Ian O'Sullivan is giving good ball in to the likes of Matthew inside. They're combining well, the two of them. Plenty of St. Mary's supporters here, of course, looking to see who will they be facing in the semi-final. At the moment, and you'd say at the moment, you'd be favouring it would be St. Michael's Foilmore, but I certainly wouldn't rule out Renard. If they got a goal in this contest, they'd be right back in it. 23, almost 24 minutes gone here now, but again, we'll have at least 3 or 4 minutes of additional time because and there's a player limping over there. Is that there is a change? Yeah, there's a change. It's not Jack Griffin. Is it Matthew O'Sullivan? It is, I think. Yes, it is. He's gone. Matthew O'Sullivan is out of the game. That's a huge loss to St. Michael's Foilmore. Or whether he was taking an injury or not into it. It was Matthew, yes, indeed. It's looking like number 17, I think. Oh, it's not Matthew O'Sullivan. Shane Goggin, 25. It's 13. It's Luke O'Shea that's gone. So we'll keep an eye with the play anyway. Yeah, he's limping over there. He's been helped in. So we'll continue with the action anyway. Brendan Kelly. Kelly's still going. He needs scores now. Inside to Aidan O'Neill, one of the few players that has scored in this first half for Renard. Back it goes to Thomas Kelly. Dan Cronin is the man that's after coming in. Dan Cronin, number 26. This is referee says play on. Going for the individual's effort was Brees O'Sullivan. That's gone wide. That is the 4th wide for Renard. The 4th wide. It remains 10 points to 3. And we've 25 and a half minutes gone here now. But there will be definitely about 4, if not 5 minutes of additional time to be played. Jason O'Shea now. Jason called and gathered by Ian Moriarty. Doing well. Brees O'Sullivan now. Renard coming more into it, but they need scores. They have possession all right, but they need scores. Matthew O'Sullivan is there. Incorrectly called that Matthew has gone off injured. He hasn't. It is, of course, Luke O'Shea that's gone off injured. Thomas Kelly now. Suspicious of touching the ground, but Eddie Walsh, to be fair to him, was right up upon it. Here's now is Conor O'Shea. Well, there's a Conor O'Shea of St. Mary's. This is a Conor O'Shea of Renard. Different man entirely. Will he be facing St. Mary's in the semi-final? That is the question. Here is a high effort from Jim Shuckrow. Didn't connect with it at all. Continuing with the action is Mikey Scanlon. Showing great athleticism and showing great power and pace by Mikey Scanlon. This now is Jack Griffin. This is Ian O'Sullivan. Ian O'Sullivan with a lovely, lovely left-footed. He saw there was a man running into space. That man is the captain, but it's gone wide. It was Stephen O'Connor in a battle there with Jim Shuckrow. That's only the 2nd wide of the afternoon for St. Michael's Foilmore. They've been very economical. 4 wides for Renard, 2 points for St. Michael's Foilmore. 27 minutes gone of normal time, but there will be at least 3, if not 4 minutes of additional time. And the scoreboard is 10 points to 3 in favour of the home team. Collision there. 2 men felt that one. They're both okay, I think, yeah. The Renard man is back up fairly quick. Well, no sooner is he back up, but he's gone down. That's Thomas Kelly. And I think it could be Matthew O'Sullivan. Is this over there that collided with him? It is, yeah. Matthew O'Sullivan, number 17. So an accidental clash from both of them, but Thomas Kelly and Matthew O'Sullivan. This will add more time now on to the referees. The referee is telling Matthew O'Sullivan he needs to go off and to maybe there's a bit of a blood injury there. I'm not quite sure. Could be. Matthew's being called ashore anyway. Now the fitness in Thomas Kelly. How is he after that collision? He seems to have survived better than Matthew O'Sullivan, but it's a throw ball, I would presume, from Eddie Walsh. That's how he's going to restart this one. Or maybe Renard has possession. Yes, Renard have possession, so I presume they will continue with that position. You can be looking at least 5 minutes now, I would think, of additional time in this first half. We're approaching 28.5 minutes, a minute and a half to go of normal time. 10 points to 3. Renard needs scores. Where are they going to get them from? That's the question. Mark Shockrow. Now to Brendy Kelly, the captain. Brendy to Thomas. Here's Thomas now. He has recovered from that hit on the overlap. He's the other wing back, Ian Moriarty. Gives it back again now to Liam O'Sullivan. Back to Ian Moriarty again. But St. Michael's Foilmore are keeping that 3 players up front, and they have them 12 men behind the ball, and they're doing very, very well. Conor O'Shea spraying it over there to Quinlan. That's Brian Quinlan. Inside again. This is a nice movement from Quinlan, and that is a point from Brian Quinlan. Badly, badly wanted score from the number 12. Brian Quinlan getting the score. 10 points to 4 now. Renard will be happy with that, as I said. If they can stay on the tailcoats of St. Michael's Foilmore, they'll be happy enough. 6 points, it's doable at the same time, but will there be goals in this game? Breaks around the middle again, gone the way of St. Michael's Foilmore. Ian O'Sullivan now. There was a slight worry about maybe a little bit of an injury, but he's showing no signs of injury, Ian O'Sullivan, so he isn't. Spraying it across here now to Brian Smith. On his bike, away goes the fullback, Brian. Here's Stephen O'Connor now. The captain has yet to score from the middle of the field. Free in. An over robust challenge there, says Eddie Walsh. And this could be territory for Ian O'Sullivan if he's called upon, and he is. This is a 2-pointer potential from Ian O'Sullivan. Now we're on 30 minutes. Whatever Eddie Walsh will add on now, he'll add on at least 5 minutes, I would think. Maybe a little bit more. This is a 2-point effort now from Ian O'Sullivan. 10 points to 4. Will it be 12-4? That would be a huge boost. This is a long one. That's a mighty kick from Ian O'Sullivan. That's a 2-pointer. We're gone to 12. That is an absolute corker from Ian O'Sullivan. That's 4 2-pointers now from Ian O'Sullivan. That's some kicking. Now the question is, will Renard be able to utilise this breeze in the second half? Out it goes to the middle of the field and gathered again by Shane Goggin. Shane Goggin. Now if St. Michael's Foilmore were to get a goal here, you could nearly be... Well, the referee is giving a tug on the jersey there. It was a soft enough one, but Eddie Walsh, to be fair with him, he's well up with the play. He's describing what the free was for. He said, you pulled his hand, you pulled his jersey. It's going to be free. It's Jack Griffin, I think, with ball in hand, and Jack Griffin has this opportunity of getting his second score of the game. Here's Jack Griffin, dead straight in front of the post. That's a 1-point score from Jack Griffin. So that takes 13 points now to St. Michael's Foilmore and 4 points to Renard. 31, almost 32 minutes gone. We'll see what else will Eddie Walsh add on. I'd guess about another 2 minutes at least, maybe not, but definitely 1 more minute, I would think, anyway. So, Austin Murphy, he's been the busier of the 2 keepers, so he has so far. With all these kickouts, Renard have possession. Brian Quinlan. They need to retreat quickly. It's given inside here now, but cut out well by Brian Smith, using all his experience there, Brian. Playing it now to Kevin Griffin. Kevin gives it out to Andy O'Connell. Still Andy O'Connell. Oh, he took an extra few steps there. He got away with it. Mikey Scanlon. DJ Morden is in there. Has spotted that change. DJ, the former trainer of the team, is in. Here's Mikey Scanlon going for the posts, and it's gathered inside there by Austin Murphy. What's our watch telling us now? It's telling us almost 33 minutes, and that is it. Half-time here in Garthmore. And the half-time score tells us St. Michael's Foilmore 13 points, Renard 4 points. As they head for the dressing rooms, it's a tall order for Renard to come back out of this, but they certainly won't throw in the towel yet. But 13 points to 4, half-time in Garthmore. Now, so you're welcome back here to Gurtmore. We're ready for the start of the second half, and I can tell you anyway, there are 2 changes on the Renard team at half time. Sean O'Connor is in and Mike O'Leary is in. We'll confirm who's gone off if we can. I think Liam O'Sullivan is definitely one of the players that's gone off anyway, but we'll confirm for you in just a few moments' time. Now, it's all up to Renard in the next half an hour. The question is, can they do it? Can they get back into this? They certainly need a couple of 2-pointers like St. Michael's Foilmore got in that first half. 13 points to 4. We were just discussing it here with Mossy Coffey and Marcy made a very fair point that if you took the 2-pointers out of it, there wouldn't be much in it. But the fact that Ian O'Sullivan got 4 of them and Matthew O'Sullivan got 1, that's 10 points in total from 2-pointers, so that's a great return. Now, back we come to possession for Renard and Conor O'Shea. Outside it goes to Sean O'Connor. Ball inside now, looking for it. Is that a tug? I thought there was a tug in the jersey there. And now he's given it to Fenton O'Sullivan. I thought initially the tug was earlier on, but second time round the referee has given it in. So this now is a very scoreable effort for Renard. Just to give you the wides there in the first half. 4 wides to Renard and 2 to St. Michael's Foilmore. Now, first blood of the second half, surely, one would think, to Renard. Yes, indeed. First blood to Sean Tehan. So, that cuts the gap now. So, 13 points to 5 now. 1 minute and 40 seconds gone of the second half. Kickouts now will be crucial. Austin Murphy, as we know, has a good belt of a kick in him whenever he'll get an opportunity. How will Luke or Jason O'Shea face now against the wind? Oh, that's a low one. But into the, I thought it was into a little bit of safety, but it's not. It's Ian Moriarty, gives it inside to Brian Quinlan. Brian Quinlan going for a 2-point effort. Should be, and it is Jason O'Shea's. Jason will give it inside there now to Mark King. Trying to work his way out. The heat being put on by Renard, and in actual fact they have possession back. Aidan O'Neill. Here now is a scoreable chance for O'Connor, but he's ballooned that way to the left and wide. So that's first wide of the second half for Renard now. 5 wides in total. St. Michael's Foilmore have just 2 wides. Now the kick out to come again from Jason O'Shea. Fairly congested out around the middle of the field there now. So it is. Jason O'Shea now decides to go to his right hand side. That's a much better kick out from Jason O'Shea. Up they'll go for it now. There's a break. Mike O'Leary. He'll certainly add a little bit of physicality to it. I'd wonder why he didn't start the game, Mike O'Leary. Probably taking a little bit of an injury into this contest. The 2 substitutes are colliding. That's another free in for Renard that Sean O'Connor pulled to the ground. And this is going to be a free in to Mark Shuckrow. This will be a tip over free. This should be 13 points to 6. But as yet, we will not credit him until that ball is gone between the 2 white posts. Here comes Mark. That's a good score from Mark Shuckrow. That's his 3rd of the afternoon. That takes Renard now to 6 points. And St. Michael's Foilmore stay on 13. The great Brendy Kelly down here in front of me. What a player that man was in his day. He certainly will fancy his chances. There's a card being shown there for a ball being kicked away, and that is Mikey Scanlon. Mikey Scanlon is getting a card there. Maybe it's just a ticking. I didn't see a card being brandished. Don't think there was. Maybe it was just a ticking. Jason O'Shea now. Jason, that's a fine kick out against the wind into the middle of the field. Mike O'Leary majestically going high and pulling it down. This man has made a difference since being introduced. Back it goes again now. Brian Quinlan, he's got on a world of ball inside. Tehan is trying to get there ahead of Griffin. Tehan has it. There's a runner coming from deep was O'Connor, but still Tehan, great difficulty in trying to get it back up. It's gone here now to Fenton O'Sullivan. Fenton O'Sullivan was fouled. That's the 3rd free in a row now that the St. Michael's Foilmore defence have given away. We were singing their praises there in the first half for their excellent conduct, but that's 3 frees now, 3 scoreable frees from 14 yards out that Renard will avail of this opportunity, and this is Sean Tehan. And Sean Tehan won't miss that one, and Sean Tehan doesn't miss that one. That's his second free of the afternoon, and that takes now Renard to 7 points. So 13 points to 7 now. 5 minutes only gone in the second half. A kick out coming again now from Jason O'Shea. Let's see how he's going to fare with this one. Aston Murphy said no kick out yet in the second half. That's another very good kick out. That should be in the middle of the field. Well grabbed there by Shane Goggin. Shane Goggin fouled. Referee telling him to go. Go back with him. There's a substitution, and Matthew O'Sullivan is coming in, bloodied and bandaged. He's coming back into the field of play. He got that knock with Thomas Kelly there in the first half. He's now wearing the headband. He's reminiscent of something like we saw in the All Blacks and Soldier Field last night between Ireland and New Zealand. But DJ Morden has done his spell. And here now is Alan Goggin. Alan Goggin gives it outside to Shane Goggin. Shane now looks up. Still Shane. Back it goes to Stephen O'Connor. Back to Matthew O'Sullivan now. Matthew calling for it as O'Connor again. Gives it back to Shane Goggin again. First really meaningful bit of possession now in the second half for St. Michael's Foilmore. Just 6 minutes into the second half. Brian Smith gives it back again to O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor sprays it outside again to Shane Goggin. Matthew O'Sullivan calling for it, demanding it and getting it 60 yards out from goal still. Hopping off him there was and I mean hopping off him was Sean O'Connor. This is good work now by Liam O'Sullivan. They don't want to give a free away from here. Liam O'Sullivan still doing very well, but he overcooked it. He did too much, Ian O'Sullivan. Should have got rid of that ball much earlier. And there's two players squaring up to each other over there on the far side. The referee's keeping an eye on that. He's also keeping it on the play. St. Michael's Foilmore have it back. They spilled it. The referee says nothing wrong with this. Here's a chance. Austin Murphy has blocked it on the line. It's a chance again. Second time of asking blocked. Austin Murphy gone for it again. This must be a free out to Renard. It is. Wow, what a passage of play. Austin Murphy came to the rescue twice. Brian Quinlan is down injured over on the far side. All happened. A wiry smile from our linesman Peter Lyons here in front of it. It all happened there in the blink of an eye. And coming out was Austin Murphy out off his line. I think it was Mikey Scanlon that had an effort in. I think he pulled it along the ground. But the referee has decided to give a free out eventually. You know, Sullivan squared up with his man as well over on the far side. Peace was restored there. And now Renard's net is still intact. Almost 8 minutes now gone in this second half, and it's 13 points to 7. Remember, it was 13-4 at the break. Austin Murphy to take this free. He drives this one outside the 45-metre line. Good running from Mike O'Leary. Fresh legs now by Mike. He certainly will add plenty of physicality to Renard in this second half. The South Kerry player himself. This is Ian Moriarty. Good ball inside for Mark Shuckrow, and he gathers it well, Mark Shuckrow. And here's the chance here now for T, and T has gone in. There's goal here. Oh, brilliant save. An absolutely brilliant point-blank save there by Jason O'Shea. T did the right thing. He went with the left leg. He did the right thing, but it was a brilliant point-blank save from Jason O'Shea. Foul in the middle of the field there is Mikey Scanlon. This game is hotting up, so it is. On the field and off the field. And for something said, the referee is pointing at, I'm not sure was it Mike O'Leary or was it Fintan O'Sullivan, but for something that was said to referee Eddie Walsh, he has brought the ball forward. If Renard are beaten today, they'll certainly be underlining one word, and that is discipline. It has cost them numerous times in this first half. And there you go, for something said again. Ball is brought forward. Ian O'Sullivan. Will Galvin, I think, is into the play as well, is he? No, he's not. My apologies. I thought I saw him coming in there, but maybe not. This is Ian O'Sullivan. This is Matthew O'Sullivan. Matthew going through now. St. Michael's Foilmore looking for their first goal of the second half. Ian O'Sullivan trying to recycle it, and he does. And it's now with Mikey Scanlon. Mikey Scanlon gives it outside there to Dan Cronin is the man that has come in there, number 26. That's a loose one inside, and they have it. Renard have it back. Renard doing well. Quinlan, oh, that's a high one. That is a high one. Malicious, not awkward. Yes, that is a high one, and that possibly Shane Goggin is the man. There's possibly a yellow card, but I would again use the word more awkward than malicious, and I think this is just a straightforward yellow card for him. Yeah, the player was a little bit high. A yellow card, which is a fair call for Shane Goggin. So it's a free out now for Renard. Let's check this watch. 10 minutes into the second half. 13 points to 7. Now, Austin Murphy, he had a chance to use the win there, but he decided to go short to Brees O'Sullivan. Oh, that's a great block again outside there by Shane Goggin. Got the ball back, but Renard have it back again. Now Brees O'Sullivan, the second time of asking. Playing it back here now to Thomas Kelly. Kelly gives it to Brendy Kelly, the captain. Brendy will square it over here to Mike O'Leary. Here's Mike O'Leary now, looking up, seeing what his options are inside. One of the options is Don O'Neill, who's covered every blade of grass in this pitch this afternoon. He really is a very athletic young man, he is. So he is Sean Teahan giving the ball inside now to Mark Shockrow. Mark trying to round his man. It's a very tight angle from Mark Shockrow, and it's a wide ball. That is the second wide of the second half for Renard. 6 wides in total for Renard. St. Michael's Foilmore with only 2 wides. They're way more economical than Renard are. 11 minutes. Gone in the second half. 13 points to 7. Number 10 for St. Michael's Foilmore has gone off there. Andy O'Connell. So we'll keep an eye. It's a very busy sideline over on the far side there. Andy O'Connell is gone off the team. Anyway, Donna, again, for ball not given away, the referee says that's okay this time. Matthew O'Sullivan to take it. Matthew plays it to DJ Morden, who's back in again now. I think he's back for good this time, as the man says, or back in real term. He was at blood sub a while ago, but I think he's in here now for Andy O'Connell at wing forward. Here is DJ. DJ gives it to Alan Goggin. Getting inside his man. It's going to be free in because the hand was aloft by Eddie Walsh. And this now is outside the D. It is in the territory of Ian O'Sullivan. He's thinking of another 2-pointer. Now the wind is against him in this second half. He's going to put this ball on the ground. He's had 4 2-pointers in the game so far. Now, is this the first score of the second half? We're gone, 12 and a half minutes of the second half. No score yet for St. Michael's Foilmore. 13 points to 7. Ian O'Sullivan dead straight in front of the post. It's a 2-pointer in the offering. Here he comes. He doesn't connect that well with it. Austin Murphy gathers it very, very confidently inside. Advantage given. There was a late tackle on Austin Murphy. Referee might take the name, and I think he will, here of Alan Goggin. Yes, he will. That was a late challenge. That's good refereeing by Eddie Walsh. He let play develop. The name of Alan Goggin will go in here for that late tackle. That's a yellow card. So the centre forward, Alan Goggin, getting a yellow card. He'll have to behave himself for the next 20 minutes or thereabouts now. Mike O'Leary, Renard, and rightly so, have not thrown in the towel here yet. Gives it into the middle of the field to Sean O'Connor. Sean O'Connor, he's got Ian Moriarty outside him now. He decides to use Ian Moriarty. Ian drives a long one again, looking for Mark Shockrow. He has it! Chance! It's blocked. The referee's whistle had gone. I thought he was giving a free out because of a push in the back, but he's not. He's giving a free in. And Eddie Walsh is holding proceedings there now. Can't understand why that was a free in, because Mark Shockrow was standing behind his man. If anything, I thought it was going to be a free out. Did Mark Shockrow push his man? But anyway, Eddie Walsh is a lot closer to than I am. And this is a tip-over free for Mark Shockrow. There's a few puzzled faces around here as well as to why that free was given, but I did hear the shrill blast of the whistle. I thought it was going to be a free out, but it's a free in, and Mark Shockrow for a 1-pointer over the bar, cuts the gap again. 13 points to 8 now. And that's the 4th score for Mark Shockrow. 3 of them are frees, 1 is from play. The watch tells us 14, almost 15 minutes gone. It's only a 5-point game, 13 points to 8. St. Michael's Foilmore yet to score in the second half. If Renard get a goal, they're right back in it. The kick out from Jason O'Shea out to the middle of the field. Possession. Mike O'Leary goes high again. This time lays the ball after him. Let's see who's got possession inside there. Throw ball, says Eddie Walsh. He's going to throw it up. Ian O'Sullivan was pulled to the ground there. So it's going to be a throw ball. Big Matthew O'Sullivan and Mike O'Leary. Well, Matthew has the height advantage for the throw ball anyway. Let's see, will it be O'Leary to get under him some way? Matthew palms it down. DJ Morden. Well, he was charging. That is a very correct decision by the referee. I initially thought that myself. He was charging with the ball, DJ Morden, and this is a free out. I think Eddie Walsh is doing a fantastic game refereeing this. There'll be a lot of people that are disagreeing with some of his calls, but I think he's got 99% of them spot on and dead right with most of them. I think DJ at that occasion was trying to look for the free and saying that the man wasn't retreating back from him, so he wanted the ball being brought forward, but rightly so. Eddie Walsh says, no, you were charging with the ball, and it's a free now. Anyway, that passage of play is over, and Brian Smith has the ball in his hands, and Brian Smith is now calling for medical attention. And medical attention is arriving. It gives us a chance to check in the watch. 16 gone. 16 gone, 13 points to 8. That is the story here in Garthmore. Who's going to join St. Mary's in the semi-final hat? Next weekend, we're live in Chapeltown, 2 o'clock next Saturday for Valencia versus Skellig Rangers. And then on Sunday, it is the turn of Waterville versus St. Sneem Derrynane. Right then, Brian Smith has recovered. Drives the free out around the middle of the field. There's only one St. Michael's Foilmore man, that's Goggin. Pulled to the ground, free out. He's the discretion there. Mike O'Leary has made a huge difference to Renard since he's coming around the middle of the field. Sean O'Connor now driving it long. That's a brilliant ball, a dangerous one inside. Mark Shockrow is in under it. He has possession. They don't want to foul him here. Still Mark Shockrow. It's a tight angle. That looks good from Mark Shockrow. It's not. He's pulled it to the left and wide. That is the third wide of the second half for Renard. They have 7 wides in total. St. Michael's Foilmore have only 2 wides. But now they're using the high ball into Mark Shockrow. He is causing trouble, but the way I can see out of it that time is Renard needs to get bodies in around Mark Shockrow. Particularly Fintan O'Sullivan and Sean Tehan. They're not playing off his height and his strength at the moment. They're too far out from him. They need to squeeze in more on Mark Shockrow if they're getting any chance, because he will cause Brian Smith troubles inside in that full back line. Over in the far side of the field, it's DJ Morden that has it. DJ being bottled up, holding on to that little ball a little bit too much. Peter Lyons has his flag up, and Peter Lyons is deciding it's a Renard ball, and it's quickly taken, and Renard are on a mission. This Quinlan again inside. This is Fintan O'Sullivan. Fintan O'Sullivan trying to round his man. The man is Niall O'Sullivan. Still Fintan. Matthew O'Sullivan over there. There's 3 O'Sullivans aside in the corner over there. Ball is played inside, should be Brian Smith's, and it is. Commanding at full back. Smith is a very safe pair of hands around that house inside there. Here's Stephen O'Connor now. At the moment, St. Michael's Foilmore are hanging on. This ball here now given to Dan Cronin. Dan is fouled. Still no score in the second half. Now, so maybe a chance here. Donna Shockrow, another foul just on the D. And again, for something that has been said by a Renard player, the ball has been brought forward. Discipline has really, really cost them. The referee at that time is pointing Thomas Kelly as the discretion for saying something. And this is Ian Sullivan takes it quickly. Here's a chance inside for Jack Griffin. He spilt it. What was he thinking? Right in front of the post, Ian O'Sullivan went quick. He'll be hoping that doesn't come back to live to regret that one, because that was a 14-metre free and he decided to go short for Jack Griffin. But Renard, that's a let-off. Huge let-off for them. 13 points to 8. Renard yet to score. Or St. Michael's Foilmore yet to score in the second half. Mark Griffin has it. 3 of them. Or Mark Shockrow has it inside. 3 of them around him. Shockrow again using his strength. But it's Brian Smith who comes out. The wind beginning to rise now. It's behind Renard in the second half. This is one for the sideline. I think the ball will win the race. It hits the flag. That means it's out. Once it hits the flag, it's out, lads. Sean Tehan takes it to Brees O'Sullivan. Brees into the middle to Mike Cleary. Mike Cleary now looking up. Mark Shockrow is the man, but again, he's inside there on his own, and Donna Shuckrow has gone back as a kind of a sweeper in front of him now. This is possession inside into the corner. And it's Aidan O'Neill. No, he's pulled this one to the left and wide again, Aidan O'Neill. That is 4 wides in the second half. 4 wides in the first half for Renard. 8 wides in total for Renard. St. Michael's Foilmore's 2. 10 minutes to go. 20 minutes gone. 10 left. And 13 points to 8. St. Michael's Foilmore still not having a score in the second half. There's another Renard substitute coming in over there. Being called ashore is Fintan O'Sullivan. Fintan O'Sullivan is gone. And we'll just watch the changes now as it's coming into play. But Fintan O'Sullivan is gone. And there's a new man now for Niall O'Sullivan to keep an eye on. And it's number 19. That is Donna Quinlan. Donna Quinlan is in for Fintan O'Sullivan. That's the change. Now, with all my writing, I've missed what the referee Eddie Walsh has decided to do here. I think he's giving us a throw ball for time wasting, I think he's calling. In fact, he's giving a free in. He's giving a free in. So now the discipline is the question mark as well for St. Michael's Foilmore today. And Mark Shuckrow has decided to avail of the conditions and to go for a 2-pointer. So Mark Shuckrow lining up a 2-pointer. The scoreboard at the moment is 13 points to 8. Is it going to be 13 points to 10? Here's Mark Shuckrow, dead straight in front of the post. Mark has the length and Mark has the accuracy. A 2-pointer for him. Renard are back into this. They're now on 10 points, 13 points to 10. That's a 2-pointer for Mark Shuckrow. 13-10 and 8 minutes left. 8 minutes to go. 25 is Shane Goggin going off on the far side. There's wholesale changes now all over the place. Positional and personnel. We'll keep an eye on the size 5 O'Neill's football. That's the one to keep an eye on. St. Michael's Foilmore gone 22 minutes without a scoreline here in the second half. This is caught well by Donna Shuckrow. Donna Shuckrow gives it inside to Mikey Scanlon. Mikey Scanlon looks up. There's clear country. There's open country in front of him. Inside here now. Here's a chance for Griffin. And he's punched it over the bar. He's punched it over the bar. Jack Griffin. I thought for a minute that he'd punched that into the net. But that's the first score of the second half now for St. Michael's Foilmore. 14 points to 10. 8 minutes left. The kick out now from Austin Murphy. Renard, I think, maybe should be thinking of trying to get a goal. That's a whopper of a kick out. Mark Shuckrow goes high inside there and it's gathered here now by Thomas Kelly. Thomas Kelly gives it to Ian Moriarty. Ian Moriarty transfers it inside here now again to Aidan O'Neill. Gives it outside to Mark Shuckrow. He's on the 2-point mark. Mark Shuckrow right into the hands of Jason O'Shea inside there, in safe enough, and Brian Smith is coming there to help him inside around the house as well, and Mikey Scanlon now. Mikey Scanlon will use his captain, Stephen O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor has got DJ Morden up ahead of him if he elects to give it to him, and he does. DJ Morden into the middle now it goes. That's good work by St. Michael's Foilmore holding possession. Briefly losing his footing there was Mark King. Matthew O'Sullivan for Donna Shuckrow. Still Matthew. Now Stephen O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor, the captain, driving it inside here now, looking for Griffin. Griffin gathers it. He's got Ian O'Sullivan there with him. He gives it to Donna Shuckrow. This is Ian O'Sullivan now. There's a chance of a score here, and Ian O'Sullivan puts it over the bar. That is his first score from play, Ian O'Sullivan. That's 15 points now to 10. 15 to 10. Ian O'Sullivan getting that one, and the watch tells us 6 minutes to go. Another change, I think, coming in there. Is there? Well, again, keep an eye on Eddie Walsh. The kick out anyway from Austin Murphy. Stephen O'Connor. It's an awkward one again. Awkward. Not a whole pile else in it. That's all I could say about it. Paddy Casey. Paddy's in there. Is he calling him? Yeah, probably. It's a high one, all right, yeah. But again, not malicious. Awkward, if nothing else. Yellow card, I would think. Yellow card. DJ Morton has gone off again. DJ's come on and off so many times in this game now. Or is he actually hugging the touchline? I'm not quite sure. Oh no, he is. He's still on the field to play. He's not gone off. Enos are done a Shuckrow. Back to Goggin. The watch now is helping St. Michael's Foilmore. 5 minutes to go of normal time. Brian Smith, with his side leading 15 points to 10. To Stephen O'Connor now. Stephen O'Connor giving it back again to Matthew O'Sullivan. Matthew O'Sullivan giving it to Alan Goggin. Huge crowd, over 600 people I think yesterday we had in Drummond's home ground, and equally big crowd here in Gortmore this afternoon. And there's no doubt we'll have the same crowds in Valencia and in Waterville next weekend. Who's going to join St. Mary's at the moment? It's looking like St. Michael's Foilmore. Can Renard get their hand on the ball? They can't at the moment. Matthew O'Sullivan plays it back to Brian Smith. Matthew O'Sullivan demanding it as well. He's had a great game for St. Michael's Foilmore. He's been very, very influential. Alan Goggin. Still, Alan Goggin. Doing well now, St. Michael's Foilmore again. That was number 9 is in. Adam Murphy is in. Here's DJ Moran going through, and DJ is fouled. Fouled there by Cathal O'Shea. And DJ, or Jack Griffin, I think, ready to take this free. DJ Moran pulled to the ground. 26 minutes and 26 seconds gone in this second half. So Jack Griffin lines this one up. He's got 2 frees and 1 from play so far. Let's see, is this another one? Is this a white flag? It's not. It's a wide ball. It's a wide ball. That's only the first wide of the second half for St. Michael's Foilmore, and they've only 3 wides in total. Renard have 8 wides, which is a lot. The kick out now, possession, vital. Renard need to get a goal, I think, and need to get it fairly shortly. Sean Tehan now. Still Sean Tehan. Giving inside here now to Conor O'Shea. Still Conor O'Shea going through. He'll have to go for goal. In fact, he goes for the point, Conor O'Shea, and he gets a 1-pointer. Conor O'Shea getting a 1-pointer there. So 11 points, 15 to 11 now. And there is 2 minutes of normal time to go. 2.5 minutes to be precise. 15 to 11. Definitely Renard need a goal, I think, at this stage. They're not going to have enough time to do it on points. Can they get that goal? There is a possibility if they can use Mark Shuckrow inside around the house, but they need to get their hands on the ball first in the middle of the field. Possession now is with Renard. They have it. Mike O'Leary now. He'll loft it in. He might even take it in. Paddy Casey making a run. Lovely ball for Mark Shuckrow. But again, Brian Smith using all his experience. And now there's a free out here. No advantage, says the referee, so the ball will come back. So, a free to Renard. 1.5 minutes to go now of normal time. Now Mark Shuckrow's out taking the free. I think he's thinking of a 2-pointer, which is fair enough. 15 to 11. It would only put a 2-point game in it if he is successful. Here's Mark Shuckrow. 2 points on the offering. It's high, and it has gone left and wide. That is 9 wides in total for Renard, which is a lot. We're down to 1 minute of normal time. Jason O'Shea in no rush whatsoever to take this one. So is it St. Michael's Foilmore? It's been a hard-earned victory for them. If it is a victory, they've only kicked 2 points in the second half, but I think Renard's downfall, if it is a downfall, was in their first half, and maybe why wasn't this man starting? Mike O'Leary, he's made a huge difference around the middle of the field. Here's Conor O'Shea now to Tehan. Sean Tehan. Sean drives it. Was he pushed? No, he wasn't, said as Eddie Walsh. It's kept in play by Mark Shuckrow. Mark Shuckrow will spray it across the goal here. This is a chance for Renard. They need a goal. Nothing else will do them now. They have to try and find that. Get that if they can in. It's Brindy Kelly who's away up there on the far side. There's going to be a line ball over there too. St. Michael's Foilmore. A blood sub. That's Matthew Sullivan is bleeding again. So the bandage hasn't worked. Matthew O'Sullivan will have to leave the field of play. He'll have to get a bit of more patchwork. More bandages required for Matthew. That head wound has opened. The referee is pushing him off. He says you have to go off the field of play. And St. Michael's Foilmore temporarily are down to 14 men, but they are bringing in a blood sub. But we'll keep an eye with this sideline kick. And I think Shane Goggin is in there again wearing number 25. But anyway, this ball is driven in around the house. Gathered inside there. And so far, so good for St. Michael's Foilmore. Their goal is intact. If they can spray it outside here, I think to Mikey Scanlon, who caught that one. The clock now is on 30. So we're in injury time now. Whatever the referee will give. Here's Adam Murphy. Back it goes again. Shane Goggin. Alan Goggin. DJ Moran. Giving it back again to Adam Murphy. Now to Ian O'Sullivan. Ian O'Sullivan took one, took two, lost possession. And now the referee is calling in Moriarty. I didn't see a whole pile in that myself, to be honest about it. But he's getting a card to Ian Moriarty. Oh, a yellow card to Ian Moriarty, and it is a free on the sideline here to St. Michael's Foilmore. There's confusion. It's a line ball to Renard. Yes, I was wondered then why the yellow card went to Ian Moriarty if it was himself that was fouled. So anyway, a little bit confusing in that one. Here's Mike O'Leary. We're gone well into injury time now. 32 minutes into injury time. Brendan Kelly. A goal or nothing for Renard. That's what they require. A goal or nothing. They need to get that ball in around the house. Mike O'Leary. Sean Tehan drives it long inside, and it hits the top of the crossbar for a two-pointer. It's a two-pointer from Sean Tehan.
Come on, Bradley, come on!
So 15 points to 13 points. 15-13 and 32 minutes gone. 32 minutes gone. 15-13. What'll Eddie Walsh add? Can't add on much more. There was a little bit of a... When we have extra time, all it requires now is a two-pointer for Renard, and they're back in it. But it's gathered in again in the middle by Stephen O'Connor. Renard don't want to give away a free here now. Renard, or St. Michael's Foilmore, with this man has had a whopper of a game. Mikey Scanlon. Possession, that's a push in the back there on Thomas Kelly. Whoa, that was a push in my opinion from here. The linesman on the far side is giving anyway a line ball to Renard. And we are now on 33 minutes exactly. 3 minutes of additional time played. Two-pointer required for Renard to put us into extra time. What's he going to do with the sideline? He now drives it long. Huge kick inside, dangerously inside. Sean Tehan has it. Sean Tehan, he's missed it. Is there a boot going in there? St. Michael's Foilmore man is coming out with it. We'll have no more. It's all over. Renard are out of the South Kerry Championship, and St. Michael's Foilmore are through to the semi-final. What a keenly contested match it turned out to be here. St. Michael's Foilmore will join St. Mary's in the semi-final on a scoreline of 15 points to St. Michael's Foilmore, 13 points to Renard. From us here in Garthmore, it's goodbye, and we'll see you again next weekend, please God, in both Valencia and in Waterford.